Alright guys, here's that video I was planning on uploading to kind of clear up some myths and misconceptions about, fitness and whatnot. First point I'm going to get to would be dieting and why it doesn't work. Dieting doesn't work for reasons that it's just a temporary change in how your body is eating and taking in nutrients. You go on this great diet that you're going to lose 20 pounds in a, a week, 2 weeks. It'll be water weight at that. That diet's going to have extremely low calories, probably, I'm guessing. And it's just going to put your body in starvation mode. What that's going to do is going to make your body store up fat really quickly from anything you eat. Oh, and with dieting, I might say avoid sugar, because sugar causes a raise in your insulin resistance, and that makes anything you eat, you know, protein or whatever, it's going to be stored as fat because your body thinks, oh, I have enough energy, I'm good. Oh, it's starting to save everything up. And being in starvation mode and then having your insulin resistance spiked, that's going to be horrible for you. Anything you eat is going to go straight into your fat cells. So diets don't work because they're temporary changes. If you want to make a good lasting change, adjust what you eat over time and adjust the cleanliness of your food. And what I mean by cleanliness is adjust it so that you are eating more natural. If you can pick it off the ground, if you can kill it, if you can, well, if you can find it in nature, without like you're not gonna find a chocolate bar just hanging off a tree in a wrapper. You're really not, and that's just to prove a point that refined foods are not good. Stick to the natural stuff. That's always going to get you the results. Humans aren't made to eat all this refined crap. We're made to go. We were evolving to survive and hunt down woolly mammoths, saber tooth, all kinds of prehistoric creatures that we were just fighting against for survival, and we came out on top for whatever reason. Um, Number two, what myths about weight loss or weight gain. So the myths about weight loss are the ones that if you eat nothing, you'll lose loads of weight. And yeah, that's true. You'll lose loads of weight for like maybe a couple days, 2 or 3 days, and then your body will be like, "This is bad. We need to start." But from the first day, it's already gonna be your body's already gonna be triggered to put itself in starvation mode just because it's trying to get you to survive. It's trying to keep you from, starving. To put it simply. And and this is and this goes hand in hand with metabolic conditioning, which I'll talk about later. Um, so that's one myth about weight loss. Another myth about weight loss would be that the more you work out, the more you're going to lose, and that is not true. Well, it is, kind of, because you lose the good things though, and you don't want that. To make progress, you're going to want to keep all the muscle you have and lose as little as possible while shedding off fat if you're trying to lean up, or if you're trying to gain weight and build muscle, you're going to want to lose as much fat as possible. And I'll discuss that in the best times to work out and in no, actually I should just discuss it right now. So for weight gain, if you're trying to gain weight, the basic idea is eat a lot, about, depending on your body, your base metabolic rate, and pretty much your BMI. Well, your BMI is not really important, but depending on your BMR, which is determined by the Benedict equation, it's going to tell you how fast your metabolism works and how many calories you should need per day just to maintain. You're going to want to eat about 500 to 1,000 calories over what you're eating if you're just working out once a day for weight gain. Muscle mass, I mean. Obviously not fat. You don't want fat. For weight gain, you're not going to want to do endless reps because that's going to tear down your muscle, and that's something that you want to keep. That's what I mean by you want to keep the muscle and drop the fat. And for weight loss, straight consistent cardio isn't your best option. It's just tiring Nobody wants to be on a treadmill or running around in circles for hours. No, it just gets boring and it's tiring, and you lose determination really quickly because it's just the same thing over and over again, running for long periods of time. You'll burn out. So that would bring me to telling you that consistent cardio is not the best way for weight loss. Cardio is important for weight loss, fat loss specifically, but interval training, especially high intensity interval training or max intensity, would be the best option. Short bursts is what's going to stimulate your body to release growth hormone, and growth hormone is what cuts down on fat and shapes up your muscle really quickly. That's important. But that's going to be talked about more in hormonal conditioning. Now, with and I'll also be talking more about weight gain with hormonal next topic because it ties in. So now, sex and its effects on your muscle gains or fat loss. There are lots of myths going around the internet and everywhere in the bodybuilding world about how sex can drop down your hormones and reduce your gains by a lot. And this is not true. You can have as much sex as you want, and it might actually be helpful if you're, for increasing your rest. And the better your quality of your rest, the better your muscle recovery. Yeah, there are hormonal dips where your testosterone for guys will drop, but it'll come back up. It's not really a big difference. It'll go down for a little bit, but it'll come back after a few hours. For girls, women, whatever you want to be called, your hormones are going to rise. Estrogen will be rising, and that's a bad thing because your body does not need estrogen as much. It does need it for reproductive purposes, but for weight loss, it's not your best friend. Estrogen is a horrible hormone when you're talking about weight loss and weight gain too, because it stores fat. So, let's see, what else is on the list? Oh yeah, how to make your body work smarter. To make your body work smarter, you're gonna want to condition it into a habit of working better. So in other words, with metabolic conditioning and hormonal conditioning, that's how your body's going to work smarter. It's going to make, and rest, integrating rest into it. It's going to make your body work much, I want to say, faster, because your metabolism will rise with the conditioning, with your hormones and your metabolism obviously being conditioned too. So, but with hormonal conditioning and metabolic conditioning, I'll talk about them on a different note anyway. To make your body work smarter, you need rest, and lots of it, because your muscles need to recover after you tear them down. And conditioning, I'll talk about in a bit. Breathing and oxygen distribution. When you're doing cardio or anything that requires you to take in lots of oxygen, weightlifting too, actually. Cardio, you're going to want to take deep, consistent breaths. The deep breaths will help push away the CO2, the bad stuff that you don't want, that'll keep you feeling tired, and it'll make the acid start swelling into your muscles, and that's not good. So deep breaths will help push that off and keep you running longer. You're going to want to, when you're running or doing any kind of cardio, you're going to want to breathe out when your left foot hits the ground. I'm thinking it's the left. Yeah, the left. I should probably just do that anyway. Now, keep whatever side your liver's on, don't step on that side when you're breathing out. Why? That's what causes side stitches. Side stitches are those annoying feelings you get right here when you're trying to run and you can't breathe. So you can breathe, but it just hurts to keep moving. For weightlifting, it's important because your muscles need oxygen to push the weight around and to keep the reps going. So the deep breathing should be but that was just so you guys could hear the breathing pattern. What it should be is in through your nose, out through your mouth. That's how you keep your mouth from drying out. Um, oh, one more thing. If you find yourself getting dry mouth while running, try not chewing up, sucking on a piece of hard candy. Just don't suck it into your airway where you're like, because yeah, you need to breathe to stay alive. So, all right, rest and how important it is. Rest is really important, and I cannot stress this enough. Rest is key. You could work out as much as you want, but if you don't have rest, your body's not going to make as many gains as it would if it was fully rested and was still doing it. With what I'm going to be doing, I am going to be sleeping probably, well, take tomorrow my plan is to get up at 6, work out for an hour, sleep till 8, shower, and go on with the rest of the day. Once I get back, I start working out again, take a nap afterwards, well, eat, and then work out, and then take a nap. Even though you should eat after you work out, but I'll discuss that in metabolic conditioning. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. So yeah, resting, you should be resting at least 7 hours on a full night of sleep. 8 hours is kind of pushing it, 9 is too much. And if you don't have enough, your muscles will not recover. Additionally, you should take another few naps throughout the day. If you're going to be working out more than once a day, that is really important. That'll help you out so much. Because sleep is when your muscles do recover, mostly. That's the time your body takes to repair itself. Let's see. Metabolic conditioning. Here we go. That's that nice little mouthful. Anyway, metabolic conditioning is pretty much training your metabolism to work better and faster. And this is done by constantly putting food in it. Low calorie food with low calorie food, low glycemic index. The glycemic index is just the amount of sugar it contains. 1 second, folks. Right back now. Anyway, metabolic conditioning. You do that by eating lots. Low calorie, low glycemic index, and low carb. Glycemic index affects your insulin resistance levels. Your insulin levels, and that high glycemic index foods are what cause insulin spike, and that's bad. Man, so ideally you should be eating 6 times if you don't plan on working out like 3 times a day, like I'm going to be doing. 4 to 6 times a day, small meals, usually roughly, depending on your body type and your body size. It's about 400 calories. Usually for women it's 400 to 300 to 400 calories. For guys it's about 5 to 700 calories, because yeah, guys have better hormones when it comes to muscle building. Testicles. Anyway, yeah. Next up is going to be hormonal conditioning. Hormonal conditioning, yeah. This is a kind of a, I'm not going to say controversial, but it's a bit of it's kind of hard to explain. But here's how I'm going to explain it. Conditioning your hormones that can be done just with anything you do. Let's see. For example, with the earlier thing with sex, that doesn't do much of a difference, so it's not really considered hormonal conditioning. Hormonal conditioning would be HIIT training, for example. That'll release HGH, growth hormone, human growth hormone. So, but only when it's high intensity and interval training. Those periods of high activity followed by rest, followed by high activity again, and then followed by short rest, they cause your body to be like, whoa, this is gonna be tough. We better get ready for this if it happens next time around. So, and that's another reason why it's so good. Hormones released. That's the same reason I said earlier, but anyway. So that's one way to condition that. Through your diet, well, diet's just the way you eat. Your lifestyle specifically. Your diet is one of the key points in hormonal conditioning, because the cleaner you eat, the better your hormones are going to be. How should I say? Uh, the better your body will work with the hormones that are there already, and your body might even produce more and reduce the amount of estrogen you have if you're a guy and if you're a girl. But that doesn't mean that you're going to get extremely buff, because your body's like, your girls, women aren't meant to be overly muscular unless, like, you know, they do it on purpose and they train for it, as in professionally, female bodybuilders. Yeah, no, at least very few guys want a extremely buff, like, girl, woman next to them. So I can understand why you girls would be worried about that, hormonal conditioning and whatnot. But yeah, the cleaner your diet is, your body will just uh, work itself out. But and anyway, it'll make your body work better with its own hormones, and might release more and less of the hormones you don't or do need, depending on the kind of conditioning you're doing for your hormones. Um, Weightlifting is excellent for hormonal conditioning. Why? Every muscle fiber that you break or tear while you're lifting, what that does is signals your body to release testosterone, human growth hormone, and what was that other hormone? Well, I can't remember the last hormone. No, wait. It's not a hormone. I'm thinking of something else. But right, with every muscle fiber you tear, your body wants to repair it, so it releases testosterone to make it grow thicker and stronger. All right. The best time to work out. The best time to work out would be right off in the morning, as soon as you wake up. Why is that? Because your body's rested up. It's ready for it, and then after you after you once you wake up and you work out, your body's gonna need fuel to replenish everything it's lost and everything you've burned off, and to recover. So you're gonna eat then, and since it's breakfast, your first meal, it's gonna be absorbed really quickly, which means your body is gonna recover that much faster. That goes along with metabolic conditioning for your repairs, for your muscle repairs. So yeah, in the morning. Something else you can do for your metabolism would be a cold shower, just cold water. That's it. Get up in the morning, do your workout, eat something really quick, high protein, low carb, and then just jump into the shower cold. And sorry about that. And what the cold water does is it makes your body feel like it needs to warm up, so it raises the metabolism to keep you warm and start producing more heat. It's the same reason why drinking 2 cups of cold water in the morning works. It's for the same reason. Your body's cold on the inside, it's trying to warm up, and that's what happens. Alright. How many times a day should we work out? You can work out as many times as you want, so long as you keep your body nourished and you give it the time it needs to recover. Recovery period depends on person to person. People with high testosterone levels and low estrogen levels tend to recover in a matter of like 1 day to 12 hours to 1 day, depending on how much rest they have, what their hydration is, their hormone levels, their metabolism. It depends. Let's see. People with the opposite would take up to 3 days to recover from one workout. And being sore doesn't mean you're not ready to work out. What it means is that your muscles are still damaged, and there's still lactic acid in them. So that means you're not going to be able to give it as hard as you can, but you'll still be growing, because your body's smart. It's not going to just be like, oh crap, we got to give up. That's it, we're done. No, it's gonna work because it needs to. It cares about survival. That's why it does everything it does. Survival. So the more strain you put on your body, the more it's going to try to compensate in one way or another. But working out too much is a bad thing because, like I said, if you're doing more, like too many weights sessions a day or too much cardio a day, you're going to be burning down precious muscle, and you need that muscle. You're not going to be hitting the fat anymore. It's just going to be muscle, and that's not good. So remember, rest. Well, okay, wrong order. Wake up, work out, eat, rest, and work out, eat, rest, and repeat and repeat and repeat, depending on what kind of what your program is specifically, and yeah. All right, the last one. Crap! I hate these status updates. What is in my list? Ajá. Yo. No, ahorita voy. Sí, ahí voy. Gracias. My cousin just. Well, yeah. He rolled in, telling me about pizza. Tell me what I don't need. Pizza. Alright, and the last thing I'm going to be covering today, smoking and drinking and its effects on your progress. Depending on what you're smoking, well actually either way, your cardio is going to be shot down pretty much by anything you're smoking. So, but if you keep doing cardio consistently, and it's good cardio, as in it's going to increase your stamina, then you shouldn't see much damage from it. You'll still see a little bit reduced performance as opposed to if you weren't smoking, but it's not going to be as bad as if, say, you were just doing little to no cardio movement at all, so you didn't raise your heartbeat up for a whole day, so you were sitting down for a whole day or lying down on your bed or something. Yeah, your cardio is going to suffer a lot. Let's see. Drinking will slow down and even reverse your progress because alcohol it stops your muscles from recovering as quick as they should. It blocks off I want to say protein. I'm thinking it's protein. If it's not protein, it's hormones. I'm not sure which one I'm thinking of. But not only that, it's really high calorie and really high carb for being a small amount. An ounce of alcohol could have anywhere from 6 grams of carbs to, well, depending on the alcohol again, but I'm not exactly too sure on the numbers, but a rough estimate is 6 grams per ounce of just carbs, which is, again, bad because carbs cause resistance in your insulin levels. Keep that in mind. Let's see, what was it today? Right. No, that's not it. Alcohol. Okay. What was it? So, alright. And it's really high calorie, so you drink, yeah, you have a good time, and then it's gonna come back to you when you try and work out. Not that it's gonna affect your performance, unless you have a hangover or something like that, but, and there's an easy way to cure that. Just drink water while you're drinking. It's really easy. So that's why your hangovers happen. You don't have your electrolytes or your hydration. And alcohol is a dehydrating substance too. It's gonna not give you what you need to keep going. Water is more than just, it's more than just a lubricant. It's well, that's a good focus. But water in the muscles helps store the energy, so it makes what's a medium. Anyway, not the point. But alcohol impedes your progress by giving you extra carbs and calories that you're not going to need, and that are really useless because they're empty. They're empty calories at that, and carbs. Again, you're not going to find alcohol in a river in nature. You'll maybe find it if something's boiling and randomly, but other than that, yeah. Well, I hope you guys like these tips, and penis are real funny. Unknown jelly. Anyway, any other questions or anything that I didn't cover, just let me know and I'll cover it, or I'll send you a message or something about it, depending. But hope this helped clear up some myths, and you guys have a good night. Lates.